Hello and welcome back to the cronecast of the rising moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do yes and no tarot. I do astrology read tarot. I do the spirit guide weekly. I also do active magic, candle magic tarot, and that is what I have for you today. Today I'm doing something a little bit different in that this is a spirit mediumship read. I've done a little bit of a conjure oil blend on this to help bring in messages from the departed loved ones, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. So it is going to be a little bit different, and I can't guarantee that everyone will have a message, but there are 4 piles in a pick a card presentation. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I've been kind of trying to develop my mediumship skills more. If you've been watching me for a little while, back in about June, I had a message come through that I was going to be developing mediumship skills, and I kind of wasn't too thrilled about it. But it's been going fairly well, and every now and then in readings, I do have spirits come through. So this particular reading is to try and get messages from those who are around you, those who have left us, and from your angels and your ancestors. So, take a moment, concentrate. There's going to be an insert in a moment, and whichever pile calls out to you, that is the message that you're most meant to receive. I'm going to go over what the blend is and what's on the candle plates at each of the readings, and it will tell you what function all the different ingredients serve. I will see you at the time of your reading, and thank you for joining me. Timestamps will be in the description box down below. Welcome back. If you chose candle number 1, pile number 1, then this is your candle, this is your reading. All candles were anointed with, I already had a giant technical failure, so this is the second time I'm recording this pile, and we'll see if different messages come through. All candles were anointed with things like lavender, peppermint, frankincense for protection, protection from evil, psychic oil, and then vision oil as well. And then on the plate, I have vervain, which is lemon verbena, that helps with psychic abilities. I have mint, that helps dissolve energetic blockages to allow things to come through the veil. I have eucalyptus, which is protective to help keep me safe, and it also facilitates communication. I also have thyme, which is another herb that will help hone your ability to see. And I have turquoise, which helps protect us as we try and interact with the spirit realm. So I've touched the sky, which is about your dreams. I have unknown territory, you are exactly where you need to be. Patience, but of course, which mine is being tested because I just lost 30 minutes of filming. Dance, allow yourself fun each day, just as the sun dances with the moon each night. That is to make sure that you're enjoying your life. Don't just be a worker bee, make sure you're going towards joy and enjoyment. This is likely to be from departed relatives and spirit guides and some ancestors as well. It differs from the Spirit Guide Weekly in that your departed relatives may come through. I have truth. I have be present, use the hours, don't count them. That's another one about making sure that you are within your life in each moment, making sure you're enjoying what is available to you at any given time. I have clean it up with regeneration, deception, milestone, and the child I was meant to be. This is about healing some wounds. This is about the formative damage that we can undertake at times, and we will see who comes through on this one. It may be that the messages that came through, I wasn't meant to deliver one of them. I had one that was very difficult. Be aware, this whole reading is going to come with a trigger warning. Some of these messages will be a little bit harder to heal than others. Deception can be about deception that is being brought to you by another person, and sometimes it's about denial and the things that we hide from. Clean it up in regeneration. In order to begin again, you have to deal with that which is, this is an entirely different message already, you have to deal with that which has already gone by. You have some things to resolve before you can move forward. Let's get going here. Can I get some more, please? This is the steampunk deck. I use it for spirit guide messages. I am a developing medium. I didn't actually seek it out. It just started seeking me out. And I don't actually like to see things. So I hear things and get images. Let's get going here. What do I have as messages? Who do we have coming through? All right. Okay. I have the 8 of Swords in the upright. I have people here who are also gifted, and you're not Seven of Cups. You're not able to develop your gifts yet. You're wondering what to do. I have the Magician. I have the Empress. I have the Sun in reverse. You're dealing with some depression. Strength in reverse. Oh my gosh, you really are. I have the Five of Cups in reverse. The Nine of Cups in the upright. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Hermit in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. Last time I had a bunch of, when I first filmed this, I had a bunch of matriarchal type of spirits coming through, people's grandmothers. Somebody's sister was here as well. Seven of Swords in reverse with the Page of Wands in the upright. Six of Swords in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. Six of Wands in reverse. Page of Pentacles in the upright. The Moon in the upright. And then the Four of Wands in reverse. So what have I got going here? Oh, this is more of a mixed bag. Okay, so I have both genders this time. Last time I got an entirely feminine read. So what I have here is immediately I have someone's departed grandfather. You are concerned that your grandfather was stolen from while he was in a nursing home. He was not. He was not. What happened was there were some items lost to him before he ever got there. I think that you might be having someone on the like you're trying to figure out. Oh, okay. No, the staff there, he did have some problems with his care over time, but they did not steal from him. They didn't steal from him. The items you were looking for are in an attic. They're in an attic of someone's. It's one of his relatives. One of his relatives. They are in an attic. They are in an attic in a box, and he put them in that box himself before he ever went into that care facility. So that's the first message I've got. I have someone who lost a sister when your sister was in her 30s. Okay. I'm very sorry. I have no idea how to say this. Your sister was her life was taken by another person. Apparently it was a partner, and it's fairly, she wants you to know she's like, it was quick and she's at rest. Like, she's not vengeful. There have been things that have happened in and around your home that you think are about her angry spirit, and she's not angry. She's not angry. Justice was not entirely served in that instance, but she's not doing the things that you think she is. That is an entirely different entity. You need to have your house cleared. You need to have your house cleared. It's not her. So have some energetic cleansing done. What's causing I think it is like there's some disruption with your home, like a feeling of dark energy and like an oppressive feeling, particularly in the basement. It isn't her. She is with your family. She does protect them. That's the deception. That's the deception. It's a non-human entity that's doing that. It's there because like somebody a long time ago was doing something with their own, like a spirit guide, like a Ouija board, a spirit board. And there's been something in that house ever since. Have it energetically cleansed by someone who knows what they're doing, and you'll be at peace there. It's not her. She's actually there trying to protect everybody. I have somebody who it keeps waking up at 3:33 or 4:44 at night, and you think that you have a grandfather, I think, trying to communicate with you. You're correct. You're correct. It's great-grandfather or grandfather. You're correct. It is not for any particular purpose. This person just loves you and continues to be with you. And you're always very convinced you feel them in the garage, and you do. They were always exceptionally concerned about you driving in bad weather. And so a lot of times when it's like snowing out or raining out, you have trouble finding your keys and you're wondering if it's your grandfather. It is. He's just trying to be protective. That is one of the forms of protection that he's chosen for your family, is he protects them around moving vehicles. I think he used to rebuild engines or something. I've got like a lot in that garage and a workbench at the garage. and like those lids that you would screw into the ceiling and the jars, like the grandpa hack for storage. He did not have a particularly happy life, but he loved his family very, very much, and he is still with you. He wants you to know. I have someone who has a mother who died in her mid-30s, 34, 35. She died of a form of cancer. It was reproductive cancer. You're concerned. You did not know her very well because she died when you were relatively young. You had a stepmother. It wasn't quite the same, but your stepmother was very kind to you, and you didn't really resent her, but you never really got close to her. You're concerned that it's going to impact your own fertility. It's not. It's not. That was not a genetic situation. It wasn't. There's something else that went into that. You're very frightened that it's going to happen to you, and it's not genetic. What happened to her was not genetic. She wants you to know that you will have children. You can rest easy. There may be some medical intervention that happens around that, but you don't need to be as concerned as you are. This came through in the last group too. The one where it didn't record. There's someone who is self-harming, and you have a guide who is asking you over and over again you're punishing yourself for something that was not your fault. You're punishing yourself. You're externalizing external pain. Externalizing internal pain. They're asking you to talk to. You have a sibling or an older cousin. This is a woman. She's actually a very good resource for you. She knows about this situation that you feel very guilty about something. And she has information that'll help free you from that guilt. Please stop hurting yourself. What else do I have? I have someone who has been trying to plan a trip. To a farm. It's farming country in another country. It might be Wales, it might be Scotland, I'm not sure. I'm only like kind of laughing. I have a great grandparent's spirit here that wants you to know that you have the wrong farm. Like the records aren't quite accurate, and it's within that city, but like you have a plan to go to this particular farm, and that wasn't their farm. Like the roads were changed following, I think, World War II, and so there's something wrong with the address there, and just do a little bit better digging. You're in the right area, but it's not that farm. It's 6 miles away, something like that. It's on the same road, but they changed the numbering system after World War II. I believe this is in. Yeah, it's somewhere. It's in the British Isles. It's in the United Kingdom. Okay, who else do I have here? Okay. I have, I'm so sorry. I have somebody who has a younger male relative who died of a heroin overdose within the last 5 or 6 years. You're wondering if this person is at peace. Not entirely. They have stayed behind to work off some earthbound karma. They're very concerned with the emotional injury that their addiction left family members with. And so they are there, and they do what they can. And understand that they did have a sad life. But it's not all defining of all things for them. And they just want you to know that they're there trying to protect things, and you try to find out what happened to them. You're very intrigued by this person. Don't romanticize their life. That's the message. Don't romanticize their life. They made mistakes, and they wish that they had taken the opportunity to do something different, but they did make their own choices. And they are a tragic figure, but they were the architect of that tragedy, and they want you to understand that. They want you to understand that they know they are responsible for their own choices. It causes you a great deal of grief and pain, and I think you have recriminations against relatives for not doing enough. And this young man, he wants everybody involved to know they did everything they could. He would not listen. He would not listen. He takes responsibility, and he's sorry for all the pain that he caused. And it is a disease. It is a disease, but he also, he turned down multiple offers of help. What else do I have? I have someone who lost someone they thought they were going to marry. It was to an avoidable set of circumstances. It was in an accident. This spirit is trying to tell you to move on. It has been, I think, at least 3 years. I don't have the gender. This is not a fully present spirit. They are not earthbound. They're just coming through. They want you to know that it was fate that they died. It was fate. It was fate. You feel as if God punished you, and that's not what happened. It was just this person's fate. It was what was meant to be for them. They were fine with they just want you to be happy. They just want you to be happy. Oh. I have someone who lost a child. I don't know that the child was ever born. I don't think the child ever came through into this realm. And you're wondering if that was what they chose, that was their chosen path. They are now a very strong protector of you and of your other children. And it was the way they got closer to this realm to be a protector. And you spend a lot of time wondering what this person would have looked like when they grew up and who they would have been. And they just want you to know that they weren't, that wasn't what they were pursuing by trying to come through in this realm. They were pursuing the opportunity to be a guardian, to be a protector. And they knew they would never truly take corporeal form. And the only reason they want you to know that is it causes you such pain thinking about how this person never got to be. And they just want you to know that it was what they had chosen, the existence they had chosen for a very particular reason. And you are one of the people they protect. And they love you very, very, very dearly. And I don't have gender on that. I don't have gender on that. It is a spirit of air that came through as a protector. What else do I have? Car accident. As someone who died in a very violent car accident, the vehicle turned over multiple times. This person wants you to know, I think they were only 18 or 19 years old. He was a boy, a young man. They want you to know it was only scary for a few minutes. It was over quickly. They wish they'd chosen differently as well. And you will see them again. You will see them again. You are part of the same soul pool, and you will see them again. All right, is there anything else? Is there anything else? I have somebody here who is doing a form of magic, trying to communicate with people who are no longer here. Make sure you're doing that in protected circumstances. You did have something come through that frightened you. Sage, Palo Santo, lavender is also very protective. You've given yourself a good case of the creeps, apparently. The spirits you're trying to contact, they're not going to come through in the way that you think. It is best to meditate and to ask for them to communicate with you in your dreams. The child I was meant to be. Understand, as difficult as this is for the living to accept, that there are frequently souls and spirits who choose a lifetime that will end quickly, or an illness, or even under violent circumstances. And it is because they were trying to learn something in their eventual journey and evolution. And I've got like such regret about the pain that leaves behind for others. Please try to be accepting. Time, when we're experiencing it here in this 3D world, seems to move so slowly, but it's nothing in energetic space. It's nothing. It's nothing. And it will seem inconsequential when we're on the other side of it. Okay, do we have anything from Spooky to close this out? This is a strange read, and I wasn't really sure I wanted to do it, but I was really told that I should. So we've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. That is often about grounded spirits. Things no longer up in the air. Earthbound spirits as well. Can you get some more, please? Two of Wands in reverse. Okay. So this is a message about being careful when you're trying to commune with any type of spirit, any kind of non-corporeal being. Make sure that you do it under protective circumstances. Okay. Seven of Wands in reverse. Don't try and force any issues. Death in reverse. And the concept that death is an illusion is at least a little bit real. There is something after we are no longer here. Is it the circumstances we've been told about in various religions? My sense is that it is not, but that is not limiting in any way. And that it is expansive and beautiful and blissful. And that sometimes the people that we love, even when they're gone, they choose to be with us to try and help us through this slow crawling time period that feels so long to us, and know that you are loved and supported energetically and spiritually. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this reading, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give it a share. Don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to book me for a private reading, there's going to be an insert in a moment with all the information on how to do that. And I thank you again for joining me. Take care. Be well. I don't know if this will be a regular feature. I just was really being nagged to do it, and so I did it. Take care. Be well. I'll see you next time. And welcome back. If you chose candle number 2, pile number 2, then this is your candle and this is your reading. All of our candles were anointed with a combination of lavender, frankincense, which is very protective, peppermint, which helps dissolve energetic blockages and allow for communication between worlds. I have psychic intuition oil, vision oil, and then protection from evil, because it is important when doing any kind of mediumship work to be in a grounded and protected energetic space. I don't do a lot of mediumship work. It started developing for me. I didn't ask for it, but it is something that keeps coming through in readings, and I have been asked repeatedly by guides and other mentors to make sure that I do a spirit guide and mediumship reading. It is different from the Spirit Guide Weekly in that departed relatives may bring you messages here. Not all readings will contain a message for everyone, and I don't know who or what will be coming through. Please be aware all of these piles come with a slight trigger warning in that some of the circumstances around someone's departing may be upsetting. So I have lemon verbena or vervain, which is very good for facilitating spirit communication on this plate. I have thyme, which also helps hone spirit guide and mediumship work. I have peppermint again because it helps dissolve those blockages. I have eucalyptus because it helps keep me protected. And then I have turquoise because it also helps facilitate mediumship work and helps hone your psychic eye while also protecting you. I have lullaby. That's good for dreams. Stand still. Discovering truth, you stand in the light of truth. Fear. I realize I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. These are likely to be related to the messages coming through. Woods. Be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, full of life. I have strength. Don't let weeds and thistles cultivate in your garden. I have yang. That is about the balance in between the yin and yang. This is the masculine. I have poised. Being able to handle anything with aplomb. And then I have kindred partnership, soulmate, and fear with downcast pride. Okay, that's the dark mirror. Downcast pride is, of course, the wounded ego as well. Fear is something that is apparently keeping somebody here from loving going forward. I've gotten that in two different places, fear and fear here. Release fear. Fear is the opposite energy of love. Even if you've been hurt in the past, even losing people to death, understand that the only way to experience true joy is to allow love into your life in whatever form it takes, whether it is you loving life, loving other people, or allowing other people to love you. So let's get going. This is my spirit guide. I use this deck almost entirely for mediumship. It is the steampunk deck, and it just started giving me very good messages. So it's the only thing I'll use it for. All right, here we go. Let's get going. Can I get the messages for this particular group, please? Get the messages for this particular group. There we go. Ace of Wands in the upright. Okay. Can I get two more? Okay. Okay. Page of Swords in the upright. Okay. All right. Strength in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. Somebody's grandmother. Magician in the upright. The Ten of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Cups in the upright. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Seven of Wands in reverse. Justice in reverse. The Tower in reverse. High Priestess in the upright. The Eight of Wands in the upright. Five of Wands in the upright. The Hierophant in the upright. The Empress in the upright. And then the Nine of Cups in the upright with the Sun in reverse. Okay, straight away, I have ancestral spirit coming through to someone who is trying to develop the ability to manifest doing magic. You're going too quickly. You're going too quickly. You've already suspecting that you had an odd result because of it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Try to be patient. You're trying to make things happen too quickly, and your reasoning on what you're trying to do is your intent is a little cloudy, and understand that you are being held back from a full manifestation for your own good. Think things through carefully. Not all situations are meant to be impacted by magic. This is an ancestor. This is an ancestral witch that is coming through. You are trying to communicate with your ancestors to bring about a result that is only for personal gain. And they're asking you to re-examine your motives and to be a little bit more careful with what you're using magic for. Okay, what else do I have? I have multiple grandmothers here. Okay, let's get started here. First of all, I have someone's mother who recently died. She died within the last 2.5 years, 2.5 to 2 years. You are very concerned about what she thinks about what has happened to your family in the aftermath. She died of, it was circulatorily, there were clots. She died of something, a blood clot to the brain. Was it a massive stroke? It was something having to do with her circulation. She died very suddenly. She had not been in good health for about 3 to 4 years. You're very concerned that your family is no longer together in the shape and form that it once was. Your mother was the person who really held everyone together. And you're wondering what you can do. It can't happen quite yet, but she very much would like you to organize a family reunion, which is something that you have been thinking about. Do know that she will be there, as will your grandfather, who is a different, they were, her father, I believe, is still with your family as well. They act as protectors, and they are sorry for the financial difficulties that your family is facing. Understand that pulling together will make the tough times easier to bear. What else do I have? I have someone who's been trying to scry with the High Priestess. You've been trying to see into, the High Priestess in reverse. You will make more progress. Be patient with yourself. It is actually your fear that is holding you back. You do have this gift. You do have the ability to divine. You, grandmother, your grandmother was somebody who worked in divination, but not in worked, took money for it, but she was known to be able, she had the sight and she was able to see. You're wondering if you have the gift as well. She is there trying to help you. You are afraid. You are afraid. Try and heal your root chakra. It is the thing that helps heal fear. Again, fear is the opposite of love. As someone who thinks they lost their soulmate, when this person died, I believe he I'm getting a he. When he was alive, he was a man, identified as male. You have another soulmate. You have another soulmate. You were soulmates. You're not wrong. But you have another love. And he doesn't want you to sit and wait the way you are. Like, he died very, very suddenly. I believe it was an accident. And you have kind of taken on the energy of, well, that's it for me. And he's trying to let you know there is still a lot of life. Please go towards it. You just don't want to be hurt again. You just don't want to be hurt again. And understand that you're just making yourself lonely. And he would like you to continue on. And understand he won't be here much longer. He is choosing to leave. He is choosing to leave. It is not because he ever wants to leave you. It's just he has his own soul's path to follow. And he would like you to go forward and try again. It won't happen again. It was just part of life. Sometimes it's so hard, but sometimes loss is simply part of life. And he wants you to concentrate on how much you did love him. And understand that you can have that again. And it will be different, but that's good. What else do I have here? I have the Tower in reverse. Somebody has an aunt. She died of cancer in her 40s. She died of cancer somewhere around 45. You have been struggling with substance abuse. You've been struggling with substance abuse. She wants you to know that you can become sober. Do dedicate yourself to trying to build up from rock bottom again. The pain that life has caused you, there are ways to feel better. There are ways to be happier, and it doesn't involve retreat and drug abuse. Talk through your feelings about what happened to you. She knows what happened to you. You were 17 or 18 years old, and something really, really traumatic happened to you. She knows, and you can heal from it. You didn't just die that day. You didn't. You think you did, and it's part of the reason you obscure your reality as much as possible, but you can get better, and you can heal from that, and it does not define you. And she is there with you. She wasn't when that happened. She hadn't died yet. She's always with you now, and you don't need to be afraid. You are protected. And why that happened is you went. It was bad luck and other people's choices, and sometimes evil thrives. and they're sorry they weren't able to divert that. But you're not cursed, and it wasn't a judgment. And please try and find your way towards clarity. You're actually a very special person with a lot to say, and you're muffling it. You have great talent. Who else do I have? What else do I have? Poised, poised, poised. What else do I have here? Do I have anything else here? Brother. You had a brother. He died of an autoimmune disease. He died of an autoimmune disease. You're wondering if he has anything to say to you? He does. Apparently he was a very profane man. He does have things to say to you. Don't be as sad as you are. He actually had a very nice life. And he had not felt very well at all for the last 3 years of his life, and it was a blessing to him. And you think of it as being way too soon, and please understand that he's freed from all pain and restriction. There's something about Thanksgiving and a turkey, but I don't really get it. I don't get it. Like, there's like nobody to fight over the crunchy stuffing or something like that. Like there's something with like the stuffing and the dressing in a turkey, and like he used to like claim the whole pan for himself or something, and he's telling you to enjoy the stuffing, I guess. Because I keep seeing the Thanksgiving dinner. What else have we got here? I have someone who you think your house is haunted. You think your house is haunted by 3 different spirits, and you're right. And you don't need to be worried. You don't need to be worried about it. They've been there for a long time. They didn't actually ever live in the house. It's the land that the house was built on. Used to have a dwelling on it. They're from a long, long time ago. They're aware of your family, but they're not trying to do anything to your family. Like the noises that you keep seeing, and like there's something that you see out of the corner of your eye, they just want you to know that they're tied to that place because of how much hard work they put into it, and they mean absolutely no harm. I think like one of your children keeps seeing and describing like one of their children, and you are truly, really deeply frightened. And they just want you to understand that child's not there. It's like an energy imprint. They're seeing something that's almost like a snapshot through time. That person's soul is not there. The soul is infinite. We think of it as being this finite thing, and that's why people can be in multiple places at one time. But what your child is seeing is just basically, there was a routine that this particular little person followed every single day. And children thrive on routine. And what you're seeing is essentially a recording in energetic space of, I think, the child running down the hall. And it happens at weird times of the day. And you've been very, very, very frightened by what it means. And you don't need to be. You don't need to be. That does not contain any sentience. It's just treat it like an overexposure or a double exposure on film. You're literally just catching an image of something that happened every day, and so it kind of got worn into time. And it wasn't even the house that you were in. It is the house. You're in a house that was built on the same ground that a different house used to stand on. I don't know if it was lost in a fire or in a terrible accident, because there's a bunch of it was destroyed somehow. Something was built there afterwards. You have a small child, smallish, maybe 7 or 8, who you've seen it as well, but your child sees it kind of frequently and gets frightened. Understand that is not a true ghost. There are ghosts in your home. You don't need to, they're not trying to interact with you. They're not trying to interact with you. They just, there is a long history with that piece of land and how hard they worked for it. And so part of them simply remains there. All right, group number 2. I knew this was going to be an odd reading. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to contact me for a private reading, there's going to be an insert in a moment with all the information on how to do that. My website contains all my prices, and I would love a chance to read for you in real life. Take care. Be well. I didn't even ask to be a spirit medium. It just was one of those things that started developing. So I hope you're enjoying it, because it freaks me out just the tiniest bit. But at least it's fun. Take care. Be well. I'll see you next time. Welcome back. If you chose candle number 3, pile number 3, this is your candle. This is your reading. All candles were anointed with the same blend containing lavender for protection, peppermint to help facilitate communication. It dissolves energetic blockages, frankincense for protection, psychic vision oil to help me communicate. I also have protection from evil because, again, protection. And then also I have vision oil, and that is to try and help me see what is being shown to me. I have not always been a spirit medium. In fact, I kind of didn't want it to happen, and it has been developing over the course of 4 months. And I've come to an agreement where I don't see anybody who's departed, because I'm a little bit of a weenie about that. They get to show me things and they get to communicate with me. And I can do it on demand sometimes, but more likely what happens is it comes through in reads. When people ask for spirit guide reads in particular, I have a tendency to get departed relatives. So here we have no rain today. Good, 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 good. That's happiness. Clear skies. Inner peace. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful card. Okay. You are a beacon for others, wise leader. I have forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. Difficulties are a part of life. Courage. When picking roses, don't fear the thorns. I don't look at these beforehand. That is very interesting. I have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Please do not fear change. It is the only way that things get better. I have co-create. Work in partnerships. The tribe. Apparently really work in partnership. I have stuck energy. You are blocking out something. Joy is fun. And then your dark mirror is the temple of my body. If you're trying to facilitate your psychic gifts and or mediumship, remember you can, now cannabis is still okay. Like, it doesn't change your ability to process energy in the same way that alcohol does. And so just be a little bit careful about what you're putting into your body if you're trying to develop your psychic gifts. Animal products are harder to digest and lower your vibration. That's why a lot of psychics, like myself, don't eat many animal products at all. And when I say don't eat any, I very occasionally have butter on popcorn, and that's about what all I do in the dairy or animal product department any longer. Here we go. Yeah, and I keep searching for a plant-based butter that I like as much, because I eat it with nutritional yeast on popcorn, because that's my junk food choice. Haven't found it yet. There we go. All right, I have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Let's see who's coming through here. Stuck energy. I've got somebody who is lingering in the energy of mourning. You are lingering in the energy of mourning. Okay, I have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Queen of Cups in the upright. I have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I have the Hanged Man in reverse. I have the Ten of Swords in the upright. I have the Hierophant in reverse. Really? Okay. All right, let's keep going. I have someone who lost a spouse. I'm genuinely, genuinely sorry. Here we go. You're not sure how you're just going to keep going. Let's get this. Three of Cups in the upright. Community is going to be very important. I have the Three of Wands in reverse. That is what's going to bring balance and happiness. 10 of Cups into your life. 5 of Cups. You are mourning the loss of a spouse. I'm so sorry. Page of Pentacles in reverse with the Star in reverse, and you're struggling with depression. That is your stuck energy. I have the Moon in the upright. I have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I have the King of Swords in reverse. I have the Hermit in the upright. Okay, we're going to need to talk. Knight of Swords in the upright. The Four of Swords in the upright. And then the Queen of Swords in the upright. Okay, So immediately what I have is someone's departed spouse. I do believe it is a man. I do believe it was your husband. He died, it wasn't entirely without warning. He had been sick prior to a fatal event. He had not been well. I think it was a heart attack, and he had recovered from a minor one 2 or 3 years before a larger one ended his life, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry. You are still struggling with going on, and you don't know how you're going to. You don't know how you're going to find your way forward. Your husband would like you to know he would like for you to move on. He doesn't like seeing you like this. He's not scolding you. He loves you very, very, very much. He's sorry, because I take it when he argued, he was not the nicest sometimes, but he was not truly abusive. He was just a little cutting. He wants you to know he's sorry he ever hurt you, and he can't stand seeing you in this much pain. He's asking you to please try and understand. He lived his life, and it was his time. There's a lot available to you with your family, with your friends, particularly with friends. You have withdrawn a great deal, and he is with you always. When you think you're talking to him, you are. You are. He loves you, and he is sorry he left. Everything, you will see him again. You've convinced yourself there's nothing after this. You were that hurt. And there is, and he's there. Okay. Okay. All right, what else do I have? That was a big one, and like nobody else is coming through because that guy could talk. All right, let's see. Okay, I have somebody who's waiting for an inheritance from, I believe it was their mother. There's some money that is you're waiting for you're waiting for a resolution on something. Do you know it's going to turn out in your favor? And no, your mother is not upset. Your mother is not upset. This might be a medical malpractice suit. There was neglect in her case. It will be proven. And you're not going to be as happy with the award as you might otherwise be. Please try to remember that no amount of money, like you don't actually care about the money, but you think the amount represents how much your mother mattered. Your mother mattered so much to you and to the people who loved her, and there is no monetary value that can be put on that, but you will triumph in the case that you're trying to put forward. Talk to the other caretakers there. Talk to the other caretakers there. There's something. There's something. There's information that they have that will help. There's information that they have. Okay, what else do I have? I have someone who is considering a startup business, and you have a great-grandfather, I take it, who is an innovator. You're wondering if you share the ability to create in the way that he did, and you do, and you are inspired by your ancestors. I don't think you ever knew him. I think he exists only in family legend and story to you. Might be a great-great-grandfather, but I think it's a great-grandfather. Understand that he is there, and he is very connected to you. You are actually the reincarnation of someone that he knew in his own lifetime. Soul pools work that way. We frequently reincarnate with the same group. He's very fond of you. He has a lot of admiration for you, but he says, watch your temper. You have a little bit of an explosive temper problem. Work on that, and you will actually have better progress with what you're trying to work on. I have someone who died in a plane crash. It was at least 15 years ago. You lost someone in a plane crash. I believe it was a sister. It's a female relative. She was 42 or 3 when she died. And you've just driven yourself crazy for kind of a long time, like wishing and wishing that you had done something to keep it. Understand that was her fate. That was her fate. And she's not, only part of her is still here. Only part of her is still here. And it's because she was very tied to you. And she just wants you to try and let go. And don't be frightened and don't be bitter. The only lesson to take away from what happened to her is to try and enjoy your life as much as humanly possible, because we don't have any guarantees in how long we will have things available to us. Don't delay and don't put things off. You try to over prepare because you're always trying to prevent an accident. Nothing could have prevented what happened to her. It was actually her fate, and she was okay with it. She left behind somebody she really loved. I believe it was a partner, and it was hardest for her to watch that person's pain. That person ended up moving on in a way that you felt was rather too quick. Understand that she did not share that view. She didn't share that view. She wasn't hurt. She wasn't hurt. It was just a function of loneliness, being afraid to be alone. She understood. It wasn't an insult to her memory. It wasn't an insult to her memory. That person moved on so quickly because they couldn't bear life without her. And she knows that part. She knows that part. It was something that helped save them. She's fine with it. I have someone who... Okay, wow. You were pregnant with multiples. And not all... I'm very sorry. Some of this stuff will be heavy. You were pregnant with multiple fetuses, and not all of them survived to birth. Like, one had an in utero end. Understand that was never a meant to be person. That was an energy that came through, again, trying to enter this world, and now protects the I think there are 2 children maybe who were born from that, because I've got triplets energy, and one did not survive. And it was not, you've had a very hard time with it. You had a very hard time with it. They were not identical. Understand that they came through as the protector for the 2 who did. And they spent time in the NICU, I believe. It's very hard on you. It was very hard on you. You're a very wonderful mom. You try so hard. You try so hard, and you're a very, very wonderful mother. And you do have energetic and spiritual assistance. Do you have anybody else? As someone who has been suffering from anxiety and depression following the loss of, I do believe it was a parent. I think it was your mom. I think you lost your mom, and it's been almost 10 years. And things feel like they have never been the same since. And like every year on the anniversary of her death, you're very focused on that. And that, like, you miss your mom, you miss your mom, you miss your mom. She loves you. She is still around you. And she's asking you to try to move forward a little more. There's a bunch of things you didn't end up doing because you haven't recovered from your grief. Your mother was very, very, very important to you. She's asking you, community and tribe, join a grief support group. It will be the thing that helps you, and it's not too late. No one's going to laugh at you. There's going to be people there who are in the same boat, because it's been almost 10 years, and you just have had a hard time. Nothing has felt right since then, not even the world. And she wants you to know there are friends there that will help you, because the people exterior to you have put a lot of pressure on you about trying to move on in a way that you're not comfortable with. You're still sad. Go to this grief support group. It's after the 1st of the year. This should be a timeless reading, by the way, but that should be 3 months from now. It will help you. There's a person there who is meant to be a very close friend of yours. Do I have anyone else? Do I have anyone else? As someone who had a brother die in there, he died as a teenager. He died as a teenager. He was with Okay. Okay. He died with several other people. Um, you think about him so much. You think about him so much. And there was something very unfair. He was not driving. I don't know if it was somebody texting or they shouldn't have been driving if they had been imbibing. Your brother would like you to release the anger that you have towards the person who is driving. I think that person might have lived, and it's very hard for you to let go of the anger that you have because you feel like they killed your brother. And in some ways they did. In some ways they did, but your brother is not angry. He is an energetic being of light, and he loves you. And he enjoyed his life. And he doesn't have grief for the life he didn't get to live. He goes on in a way that is amazing. And he's not saying it's okay that he died, just that the anger is hurting you and he doesn't want to see you hurt. Okay. Group number 3. We'll see what's happening with the next. Inner peace, that's what he's asking you to find, is your peace within. Is there anything else? I feel like there's something, one last thing. What is it? This has to do with cholesterol. There is someone who lost a relative to a circulatory problem. It caused heart failure. And it is a genetic problem. And this person, who I believe was a man in life and died in his mid-50s, early 50s, understand that there are some lifestyle choices that you should make that would help you. It is not inevitable. You know it's genetic. It's not inevitable. It's very manageable. Make the changes you're being asked to make. It will benefit you greatly. Okay, group number 3. So that was that, and it is a very strange reading that I am doing, but I have been asked to do it, and I hope you got some value out of it. If you like this reading, please hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to book me for a private reading, there's going to be an insert in a moment with all the information on how to book me for a private reading. My website has all my prices. I would love a chance to read for you in real life. One of my odder recordings that I'm doing, but I was asked to do it by multiple sources in the here and beyond here. And I hope it had something of value for you. Take care, be well. I will see you next time. Welcome back. If you chose candle number 4, pile number 4, then this is your candle. This is your reading. So far, this has been a very odd read. I am only a developing spirit medium. I actually was not something I sought out. It kept seeking me out. I have come to an agreement with the powers that be that I don't see things. I just, I don't want to see things, but I'm fine with delivering messages. So what has been happening in the other 3 piles so far is that departed relatives primarily have been bringing messages to people. I cannot guarantee that you have a message here, but I hope that you do. And your candle was anointed with, this is a blend of, this is not a conjure oil. So it is lavender, peppermint. Lavender is for protection. Peppermint is to dissolve energetic blockages between worlds, between the veil. I have frankincense, which is protective. I have psychic vision oil and protection from evil. And then I also have psychic intuition oil to help hone, again, messages and the ability to see, which they will show me images, but I don't see the people unless they choose to show me in a mental image. I don't like to see ghosts. I'm a big weenie. Okay, I have lemon verbena vervain surrounding the candle that facilitates spirit messages and psychic abilities. I have thyme, which is another herb that helps you hone your psychic gifts and your ability to see. I have mint, real fresh mint, as it does, again, thin the veil between worlds and helps dissolve any energetic blockages for communication. I have a eucalyptus for protection, because whenever you're calling things from the beyond, they can come with things that you need to be protected for. This is an energetically cleansed space, and I do try and keep it as safe as possible, but I'm clearly protecting a lot of things. There's like 3 of those are about protection. And then I also have turquoise, which does help facilitate the ability to speak to spirits, spirits and spirit guides. I have change of seasons. I have focus. Okay, I have vast vistas, expand your horizons. I have abundance. This is going to help clarify some of the things that the messages are coming through about. Abundance, I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Yahoo. I have learn. Take a lesson from the owls, deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser in the day. Okay, I have move. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Somebody has not been doing something after the loss of a person. They've really kind of retreated. Serendipity, fortuitous events. It was 3 princes of Seren, and etc., etc. There's a long story with this. Serendipity is fortuitous events occurring in synchronicities. I have treasure island. Good. That is increase abundance, wealth. I have hidden motivations with loss, and then anger and chains. People don't talk about this very much, but grief is actually a very angry emotion. Sometimes you'll even be angry with the departed person for leaving you. And that can cause a lot of guilt. Understand it is completely natural. It is completely natural. Try to move past it. It is one of the stages of grief. All right, let's see what comes out for this one. Hidden motivation and loss. Be careful. This has something to do with an inheritance there. Change of seasons. All right, let's get going. Let's get going. Who do I have here and what do they want to say? Who do I have here and what do they want to say? Can I get some more, please? Who do I have here? What do they want to say? All right. Okay. Ace of Cups in the upright. Okay, good, good. 2 more times, please. And I'm going to put it down and cut and just take the read. Okay. Okay. Strength in the upright. Overcoming with compassion. Self-compassion is a very important part of processing grief and letting go. Not all of these situations will be about, hey, you're grieving. Some of it will be, hey, somebody died 3 generations ago and they want to talk to you about something. And that'll happen as well. Okay. I'm going to put it down and cut. Okay, you too. I have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Lovers in reverse. Oh, I knew it. I have the Star in the upright. I have the 8 of Swords in the upright. I have the 6 of Swords in reverse. I have the Page of Pentacles in the upright. I have the Chariot in reverse. I have the 4 of Cups in the upright. Okay. This is a recent loss. Judgment in the upright. Ace of Swords in the upright, 4 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, 3 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 9 of Pentacles in the upright, the Fool in reverse, 9 of Wands in the upright, 7 of Wands in the upright. Okay. So immediately, and please forgive me, this is one of the more difficult forms of reading because people sometimes hear things they don't wish to hear. I have someone who lost a partner or a spouse, and you were young. You were both in your 30s, I believe, and you have had a lot of trouble moving on. I believe it was an accident. I think it was at work. It did involve a moving. There was machinery involved. It might have been a car, might have been a truck. You have had a very, very hard time processing and moving on, and you have retreated into an energy where you You're not bringing enough into your life. You're very closed off. You don't want to be hurt again. And you think that the best way is to simply continue to be alone and to shut out people as much as you can. Understand that you're going to get better. You are. Do you think you're going to be single forever, and that is okay if that's your path? It is. I don't actually have the information as to whether or not you're going to meet somebody. But you've cut yourself off from family and friends, and because you think they're tired of you talking about what happened, because it is in the past. It is 5 or 6 years ago, and it's okay. You can still talk about your loss. Anybody who finds it tiresome or tedious is not really a true friend to you, and you have people who would be very understanding. You need to contact more people. You are starting to isolate way too much. You are still living where you two lived together, and you are being asked to consider letting that go. You've been very angry with your person's employer over safety features. Understand that that is entirely understandable, that you're not being condemned for that. But the level of anger you experience, it doesn't change anything. You're angry with the employer because you're angry with the divine for taking away a person that you loved. Your person is both here and not here. They did have a next life to go on to. Part of them did remain with you. They're simply urging you to understand this is not the answer. This is not the answer. Retreating from life is not the way to keep from ever being hurt again. Try to be open to new experiences. Try to understand that you're not cursed, and this was not inflicted upon you as a punishment. Your person's family has all but shunned you, and you feel very rejected and as if they didn't see you as important. They've got a lot of issues. He's asking you to remember they've got a lot of issues, and it's not actually about you. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. I think he had been working extra hours and you've been blamed. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I have someone else who is repeatedly trying to contact spirits. You are trying to train as a medium. You actually will be successful, but you have a little bit to develop first. You need to work on your crown and your third eye chakra quite a bit. You are getting some false messages, and it's been very confusing to you. You're not in contact with non-human entities or demons or any of that. You get these flashes and you don't see as clearly as you need to yet. Have patience with yourself. It is a developing skill. You actually are going to be very good at it. You are going to be very good at it. Your focus needs work. For the person who lost someone at work, your anger it's blocking so much out of your life. It doesn't change anything, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have another person who lost a friend, and you didn't hear about it for close to 2 years after they were gone. And it's been very upsetting to you that you were not one of the people contacted when your friend died. And it made you question connections. Understand that, you suspect that there's something that went on there. That maybe your friend tried to leave you something and the family didn't contact you because of that. There are things that were going on in that person's life right before they left, before they died. That they were very complicated. They had a chemical imbalance, and they were very erratic in the last 1.5 years of their life. You were not contacted because by the time this person passed over, everyone involved was just very, very tired, and they didn't contact friends at all. They were a little, it had been a hard time, and it wasn't about you. And no, they're not. I think you believe there was a settlement or life insurance policy, and there simply wasn't. They were just tired, and your friend is asking you to please let this part go. Please let it go and just move on. They weren't well. They really, really weren't well, and nobody killed them. Nobody killed them. Okay. All right, let's see, what else do I have here? I have someone who goes to a gravesite and talks to, I've got a male relative, older male relative, probably a grandfather, and you do it very regularly, and you like to talk to your grandfather because it gives you a feeling of peace, and there's nothing wrong with it. Your grandfather's not really, really there entirely. Your grandfather did not stay as an earthbound spirit. He moved on. What I've got is an echo of this person, and just sending you love. Just sending you love. They're glad it gives you comfort. They're glad it gives you comfort. And understand that you don't need to go to the grave. You don't need to go to the grave. You could sit in your room and have the same thing happen. A part of them did remain behind with you. What else do I have? What else do I have? I have someone who is too stressed to be, you're trying to develop this skill. And this is not a particular person to you. This is not a personal loss. This is your spirit guides. You're trying to develop your own mediumship gifts. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. You need to develop your psychic abilities first. This will come later in your life. It is a journey. Expand your horizons. Develop your psychic gifts first. You do have them. In particular, you should be very you should be very good at being medically intuitive. You might be in a healing profession already. You should have that's your first kind of assignment, is working with people suffering. You will understand what's bothering them at a deeper level. That is how your gift is meant to manifest at first. Your spirit mediumship will develop a little later in your life. You're actually quite young. You're actually quite young. You're still in your early 20s, and you're trying to rush something. You need a little more patience. It is something that will come to you a little bit more. The reason that you can't receive the messages is, please don't take this wrong. You need a little bit more life experience to understand the emotional nuance of those who have passed over, because some of the situations are complicated, and you're not being judged and you're not being shut out. It's just you need to develop your psychic eye first and use it for, as I said, medically intuitive. You could probably with animals as well. You should be able to sense suffering at a very high and helpful level. I have somebody else who has been trying to communicate with their Is it your mom or is it your sister? I think it's your sister. It's your sister. Okay. Okay. You've been trying to communicate with your sister, who I'm only smiling because it's at least a little funny. Apparently you're looking for some lost items. That you think your sister knows where they are, and she kind of does. It's jewelry. I think it's your mother's jewelry. Understand that is in the possession of another person now. Those items were actually sold. Yeah, those items were actually sold. It's not, nobody spirited them away after your mother's death. You think your sister did, and kind of not. Those items were sold in a period of financial difficulty. And they were sold actually by your mother towards the end of her life. And that's what your sister's trying to tell you. She didn't hide them. She didn't bury them. She's not trying to keep them from you. She's not angry with you. And there were receipts as well. There were receipts as well. But the items that you're looking for, they were sold at the very end of your mother's life because they had some financial circumstances that necessitated that. And she no longer wore them. And that's all that happened with those items. Your sister didn't take them. You've been very concerned about that, and that's not what happened. Learn. That's for the spirit medium. Who else do I have? Do I have anybody else for this group? Oh. This is somebody who you lost someone as a classmate all the way back in like high school. High school may not be that far away for you. This person was a sophomore and they did take their own life. And you felt very guilty. You felt very guilty afterwards because this person had been bullied, I believe. Okay. Understand that you are forgiven and simply ask to continue to improve. You are a developing person. You weren't the instigator of anything. You went along with things that you shouldn't have, but it was because you were afraid of the people who were the bullies. And you're not innately unkind. It's part of the reason this still plagues you. This person, she died when she was about 15, 16 years old. And understand that she's not, I think this was fairly recent. It's within the last 7 years. She's not causing things to go wrong in your life. You've worried about that. You've worried about that. She for the most part, is with her family. And she has actually, in the bulk, moved on. We think of the soul as being like, it's either here or it's there, or it's the other place. It can be in many places at once. And part of her is still here, but part of her is with her family. And she's not doing things to you. You're afraid you're being punished, and you're not. And she does forgive you. She does forgive you. She said, remember, you were just a kid. Okay. All right, what else do we have here? Do I have anybody else? Do I have anybody else? Who is this? I have someone who's just gotten stuck in the energy of grief. You've got, loss, hidden motivations, stuck in the energy of grief. You had a friend die, and it was before anything could ever develop between you two. You're a little bit older, as you're in your 40s when this happened, and you think that this person was your person who got away, and you've kind of resigned yourself to being alone. Understand that's legitimate as a choice. If you don't wish to pair up again, that's fine. But your friend would like you to know that you were very, very loved by them. But it would not have worked out. You think this person was your soulmate, and they weren't. They weren't. They had a chemical imbalance, and they could be a lot of fun. And that is the person that you really resonated with. But they were not actually your soulmate. They were part of your soul family, and that is slightly different. And you do have a soulmate. You do have a soulmate. If you can kind of allow yourself to be open, that relationship can still come to you. That's the Ace of Cups energy. It's okay if you decide not to, but please don't do it because you think your soulmate died. Your soulmate is still out there. Your soulmate is still out there. The person who died was part of your soul family. And it's not that they didn't return your feelings exactly. It's just that if you had ever had a chance to be together, you would have discovered why you shouldn't be together. You were not compatible in the ways that you imagined that you were. And that I'm not trying to hurt you or disappoint you. Your friend just wants you to know that they want you to be happy and that there is something left for you. And the anger in chains, oh, it is for you. You think God took away your one chance at happiness. No, that's still out there. That's still out there. Let go of the anger. This was not a punishment to you. Most of the things that happen that are unfortunate are just things that have happened. They're the result of our choices or other people's choices or bad luck or circumstance. Not everything is part of a divine plan. Many things are. Things do happen as part of a purpose, but you still have a soulmate. And if you're willing to open yourself up to that love, it will find you. Okay? Try to release your anger. God was not punishing you. All right, let's see if Spooky has anything to add to close this entire thing out. I hope that there was a message here for people that helped them. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. Maybe a different reading will be for you. I was asked repeatedly to do this particular reading, and I know it won't contain messages for everybody. Okay. This is going to be a very hard one to hear, and I apologize. There is somebody here who clings to the energy of grief because it keeps you from attaching to other people. You are holding other people at bay. And it is at least a little fear-based. You're being asked to make the effort to move forward with the Page of Pentacles as there are new beginnings available to you. This is, I think, following the loss of, I think it's a mom again. I do. I think you were very, very close to your mother. And you feel like time stopped and nothing good has happened since. It has. It has. You just don't like to recognize it as being good because you're hurt. And your mom would like you to understand that as hard as this is, death isn't a punishment to other people. Death is part of life, and it is difficult to grieve and move on, and it is important to process your feelings and don't rush them, but also remember that it is not being inflicted upon you. It is one of the things in life that can teach us lessons, and some of them are painful. And maybe we never really will be the same people after grief, but we can still be a very good version of ourselves. And sooner or later, the love we feel for people, just concentrate on happy memories and the things that you did have. And know that the people you love are still attached to you. Even if they have moved on and reincarnated, part of them remains with us. Once you love somebody and they love you in return, they are always part of you and they are always with you. Thank you very much for joining me. Heavy read. I knew it was going to be. Like, I really rather would do like, hey, who am I going to date? But like, this was what I was being asked to do, so I did. I hope you found something of value here. If you like this reading, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you hit the post bell notification, you'll be notified every time I post a video. And if you would like to book me for a private reading, my end credits contain all the information on how to contact me. I would love a chance to read for you in real life. Thank you for joining me. Kind of a heavy read, but I hope it helped people. Take care. Be well. I'll see you next time.